We're back. Time for another edition of the Carolina Insider Rapid Reactions Edition. Jones Adam here with you. Adam, no other way to slice this one. Just a bad loss for the Tar Heels tonight in the Smith Center. Pitt came in 10-16, 5-10 in conference play, in the 180, 190 range in the net ranking, and get a win in the Smith Center 76-67. You're going to hear from Hubert Davis coming up in just a minute. Fair to say he was frustrated after the game and felt like the tone was set early by Pitt's physical play, kind of made the game messy and ugly, and they seemed to thrive in that, and the Tar Heels seemed to get frustrated by that. Yeah,
it was plainly evident what Pitt's game plan was. Be very physical, try to push Carolina around, both on the perimeter and on the inside. They effectively took Armando Bacot first metaphorically out of the game and then literally out of the game because Carolina was making the comeback without Armando. So Pitt pretty much just did what they wanted to in the Smith Center, which you can't let a lower half of the ACC team do, no matter if they have won a couple games in a row and now 3 games in a row. Carolina looked like they thought they could roll the balls out in the first half, and that was not the case.
Pitt did hit a ACC play high, 10 three-pointers, shot their best from behind the three-point line for the entire season. Also shot 90% at the free throw line, did not miss a free throw in the second half. So Pitt did make some key shots and big plays, had a big 4-point play in the second half when Carolina had started to make a comeback. That felt important. Tar Heels stole the ball down 6, all the momentum, and turned it over. And Adam, I mean, those 2 sequences weren't the only sequences that cost Carolina the game, but they were magnified because of the situation that the Tar Heels had put themselves in, that then every little thing did matter at those 2 points.
Well, and you had Brian Reese and Henrik Rodel sitting right there courtside, who were a part of what would have had to be a similar comeback in 1993 against Florida State. And as all Carolina fans know, to make a comeback like that, you've got to do every single thing right. And Carolina just didn't do enough things right. You can't commit that foul that led to that 4-point play. You can't give the ball right back after you get a big momentum building turnover and maybe have a chance to score in transition, which is something Carolina wasn't able to do most of the night, 5 fast break points. So Carolina just didn't do enough things right, but the halted comeback was not the issue.
Right.
The getting in the hole that necessitated the comeback was the issue.
Hubert Davis had a chance. I met with Coach Davis after the game. Let's hear what he had to say. We'll come back and look forward for the Tar Heels. But here's Coach Davis on the Carolina Insider. Yeah, thank you, Dave. We're inside the Continental Tire Coach's Corner. Coach, obviously not what you wanted tonight, 76-67. Pittsburgh gets the win, led by 17 at the half, as many as 21 in the second half before the Tar Heels made a push late. What'd you see from your view that had things go this way tonight?
Well, a tougher team won, and I told you that. Pitt came in with a mindset to be physical, to be tough, to be the first on loose balls. Their will and their want to, their effort on both ends of the floor was better than ours, and I just don't understand that. But that has been us throughout the season. We have characteristics of being a soft team, and our reputation is that. And I told the team after the game that the only way that reputation and that narrative can change is that we change it. And you just have to compliment Pittsburgh. They've won 3 in a row, but they came in with a tough mindset, ready to compete and fight for every loose ball, every possession on both ends of the floor. And especially in the first half, our mindset wasn't that.
How can you change that reputation? How can you guys do something to change that?
That's a great question. You know, one of the things that I said at halftime, I don't understand not playing hard and not competing. Yeah. And that's something that I've never experienced as a player, as a husband, as a dad. And it's hard to explain from the viewpoint as a coach, watching a player do that or a team do that. And, you know, we just had a great opportunity. We were playing extremely well. And it seems like when we do that, we always take throughout the year, we go backwards for a game or two. And in mid-February, when you're supposed to be building, those are things that you just can't do.
Turnovers in the first half.
Yeah, too many. You know, we've talked about what identifies us to be, successful. And I talked to them at halftime. One, defense, where they were shooting 56% from the field. Number two, rebounding. At the point at halftime, they were out rebounding us. And then number three is taking care of the basketball. We had 10 turnovers. They had 20 points off of our 10 turnovers. So it's the same thing, Wake Forest, same thing, Miami. Every time we turned the ball over, they almost converted on every time. And so, those are the three things that we've identified that has allowed us to be successful. And you don't check the box on all three. And to say that we were still in the game, had the ball with just six, just a deficit of six, that's remarkable, especially the way that we played in the first half.
You've talked about this team's ability to bounce back. Obviously, this is a really
There's just no choice. There's a line in the sand, and either you're going to get up and start swinging and fight and compete and play hard, or you can sit down, stay down, and whine and complain and point fingers and make excuses and feel sorry for yourself. That's life. You have that choice, and my hope and my expectation and their job and our job is to step up and compete and start fighting. And we have another great opportunity on Saturday to play against a Virginia Tech team that's playing extremely well on their home floor, and we have to be ready to play.
76-67 the final tonight, guys. Pitt with the win over the Tar Heels. Coach, as always, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Jones. I appreciate it.
All right, guys, that's Hubert Davis in the Continental Tire Coach's Corner. So some very frank words there from Hubert Davis after Pitt gets the victory over the Tar Heels. And Adam, big picture, this is a impactful loss for Carolina. The Tar Heels NCAA tournament resume was lacking some quality wins, but its strongest point was that it didn't have any bad losses. And you add a bad loss tonight, not much wiggle room for Carolina moving forward.
And that will be a bad loss. I mean, Pitt's not going to suddenly move up into quad one. So that's a bad loss on the resume that's going to stay there. I think Carolina needs to stop talking about resumes and bubbles and wins and just play better. Just play better. Go on the road to Blacksburg on Saturday against a good Virginia Tech team that's also playing better, and just play better and then see what happens. Stop worrying about all the other stuff.
So that game is 4 o'clock on Saturday, big one in Blacksburg to be sure. We'll be on the air radio-wise at 3 o'clock for the Heels and the Hokies. Tough one tonight in the Smith Center. Thanks for being with us here on the Carolina Insider.